What's up, everybody? How are you guys doing today? Welcome out to Coin Talk with Sufer and Nick, except Nick is not here today. She's traveling back home and is not able to join via the car, at least not via video. So hopefully we'll be able to have her join us in the chat. I don't know if she'll come on or not. And then I have a guest today, so I'll introduce him in a few minutes. But I had a couple good things I wanted to share with you guys as we get started here tonight. First off, thank you for coming out. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but yesterday the gold and silver prices had jumped quite a bit. And anyway, it was kind of a cool thing. I was like trying to figure out why did it jump up all of a sudden? And there was some conversation going on out there about the Fed lowering interest rates. So that definitely was a jump. Today they corrected a little bit more, and I have not had the privilege of doing any research to see why. But let me share that with you guys real quick. It's just slightly down. So here's the prices we've got from Kitco today. So gold sitting at $2,027, silver sitting at $22.49. So these are holding pretty well with all the stuff I think that's going on around crypto. And, you know, just some of the uncertainty that's going on out there. I think the metals have been holding up pretty well. They could be getting some more downward pressure. A lot of people are talking about different things that could be possibly going on. And but I think right now, most of it's hedging on what the Fed's going to do with interest rates. So for any of you that are looking to make a decision on whether to buy or sell silver or gold right now, one of the tips I would give you is definitely look at what the Fed is saying and what people are saying they think the Fed is going to do around either lowering or raising the interest rates or keeping them the same. So if they go to lower those interest rates, that should be a bullish signal for metals. If they keep them the same a lot longer, eventually that'll probably put some downward pressure on the metals because people will have already built in the price of interest rates going down. If for some reason they were to increase the interest rates, that would definitely put negative pressure on it. So anyway, we've got a lot of that you guys can watch out for. So I don't know, my eyes are going. I'm going to have to put these back on. I'm trying not to wear them, but I can't read the live stream very well with it. So anyway, I want to welcome everybody out. Seymour Rivers, thank you for coming. He brought his junk silver with him. All right, so that's going to be part of our conversation today. He also wanted to know why everybody waits until the last minute to show up. I don't know. I think it's kind of a YouTube thing. So we've got Rich Mart, 1955 in the house as well. Welcome. And Michael Stacking is here as well. And Azure Blue, I owe you a call still. It's coming. I'm just getting bogged down with so many things. Hopefully in the next day or two, I'll reach out to you. And Pete Clark, welcome. The Broke Stacker. As always, I'm hoping we can help the Broke Stacker be less broke. But I think it's a great name. No one's going to try to break into the Broke Stacker's house. Brilliant, I think. And then we've got Mark Williams. And then we have Nick. She's hiding in the chat. There she is. So Nick is going to hopefully be one of our mods tonight and be able to have a good conversation with you guys in the chat as well. So Seymour Rivers says silver is sitting at resistance at this moment. Will it break through to the upside or will it continue down? That is the real question. We are about to see what's going to happen. And for those of you that live in Southern California, we've got the Long Beach Coin Show coming up, not this weekend, but the following weekend. And still trying to figure out if we're going to have a slot there to do some things. I was hoping Nick was going to be able to come out. I think she may have to come out on a different trip. But for those of you that are around, I just ordered a bunch of stickers in. We're going to have a fun time, especially if we can get a booth. If not, I'll still be around there on some of the days. But I'll hopefully have some live streams coming from there as well as some fun videos that come out of it too. Michael Stacking, New Hampshire primary results. Do share if you guys have that news already. We can talk about that briefly. And then we've got Gunny's quarter deck is in the house as well. Welcome. And silver closed from Azure Blue. He says silver closed December 31st at 23.88. And today we are at 22.40. So I would say that's, you know, we're holding fairly steady there. Jim Dock's in the house as well. Tiger Stacker, he's in the house here. we got Mark Williams, and let's see, Brooks Tacker's got a comment for us here. So he's just letting us all know that we'll see where it goes in the short, but in the end, it's going up, up, and up. So I would agree. The government has not stopped spending money. If you go to the debt clock, you can just see the thing ticking off. It looks like it's $100,000 a second, something crazy like that. The national debt's going up. So as long as that's still moving forward at a rapid pace, silver is going to go up eventually, and it's going to hit. Ellie, welcome to the channel tonight and to the stream. Okay, guys. So another thing I just wanted to point out to you real quick is I've got a couple other videos that'll be coming out here pretty soon. So I'm going to put a quick plug in there. I've got a new video with Andy Scheckman. It's just finishing getting edited. So hopefully that will go out either Thursday or Friday. And there's some great information on there. We do talk about Bitcoin and cryptos. We also talk about gold and silver pretty heavily. We talk about the markets and BRICS, and a handful of things you can do to prepare yourself. And I think any of you that like crypto, any of you like gold and silver, I think you're going to find something valuable in that video. And you're also going to hear some of the cautions to be looking out for as well. And then I've got a handful of other videos I'm working on. I'm trying to edit as fast as I can, guys. Life has gotten busy with work. And so that's got to take precedence over everything else. And then hopefully we'll be able to continue to get more content out for you. And then we will have another show this Saturday. I'll have to give you guys an update when we put the post out on who's going to be showing up, or if we'll just be doing the two of us and what the subject is. So stay tuned for that. That's definitely going to be coming as well. All right, we got a few other people that just jumped in here. So OC Stacker, welcome. It's good to have you. And maybe that's the only other person that's just jumped in. And then West Texas Stacker, welcome as well. So if you guys haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up, and that will kind of wake up the algorithm a little bit, shake YouTube and wake it up, and more people will find us here. So tonight, what we're going to be talking about is being prepared. So we talked about this a few months ago with Nick when I talked about things like food storage. Okay, so we talked about that a little while ago. Tonight, we're going to talk about, in general, just being more prepared. What are some of the scenarios that could be coming down the pipeline, and how do you best get prepared for them? So food is part of that. Water's part of that. Protection is going to be part of that. There's going to be a handful of other things we can do. Uh-oh, what is this? This looks interesting.
Hi.
Hey, Nick.
I thought I would just make an appearance tonight and tell you guys I hope you have a good show. I know it's going to be entertaining, but don't you have an announcement tonight?
I don't know. Maybe I'm forgetting. Tell me.
Did you purchase something today?
I don't know.
Stickers?
Oh, yes. You want my... Okay.
So Nick's Coins is finally getting stickers.
So let me see if I've got a picture.
Hi, SPB and Craig and OC Stacker.
Okay, so we've got these stickers on their way.
Woo!
And they're going to be all sparkly, I guess. That's going to be kind of cool.
That's going to be very cool.
Let's see if I can find the other one real quick here. Let me pull up the other one real quick. There's all kinds of fun things we're doing, Nick. I was like, oh, I don't know which one she's referring to.
I know. We do have a lot of fun stuff coming up. But,
Okay,
you know,
so pull this up real quick.
Everyone's been wanting Nick's Coin stickers, and they're finally here. So
they are finally here. So it's not just that. There's also this coming.
Oh, the Nick's Coins t-shirt coming to a store near you.
Okay, and then we have, here's the official stickers.
Oh, I love them. I love them. And of course, that's courtesy of the design is courtesy of Stacking Surfer, because without Stacking Surfer, Nick's Coins wouldn't have any.
So yeah, it's a great announcement. So Nick's going to have some really cool stickers. We're going to have some channel stickers as well.
Yeah.
And then we're playing around with t-shirt designs and things like that. That'll be kind of fun. And Nick, the other thing I think down the road here too is, you know, I think we got to come up with like a a headshot sticker or something that'll be fun too. So we got to work on some
Yes. We need to do something. And I mean, I think you even came up with this idea. We have to do something with the hair.
Yes.
And of course, you have great hair too. So, maybe we can, who wore it, but we'll figure out something. But that'll be fun. But we got a lot of fun things to look forward to, and that's coming up. So
it's going to be fun, guys. So we're just getting started with all of this stuff, and we're figuring this out still. I think tonight is our. Is it our
33? It's 33 because yes,
33.
And I had to come up on 33. I'm visiting with my sister, so I didn't want and with my niece, so that's why you can't see me, just in case because they're in the house walking around for their privacy. But it's 33, and it's my favorite number.
Why is that your favorite number, Nick?
That's Larry Bird's number.
Oh, Larry Bird. I've heard about that guy. He's close friends, isn't he?
He's pretty good. He's really a great basketball player, or was. So yes,
No,
33.
Awesome. A total legend.
So I love it. Yes. So can I say hello to Tiger?
Definitely. So I'm going to bring Tiger up here real quick with us. So this is our.
Hi, Tiger.
You are live.
Hey, beautiful Nick. How you doing, girlfriend?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I'm okay. I wish you were here. Because
I am.
Yeah, but I always wanted to see you and Sufer both in your tiaras at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I've been retired. My daughter stole it.
Steal it back.
But he knows how to get it, and he looks pretty, doesn't he, Tiger?
He looks really pretty. He looks really pretty.
Oh man,
he does. So, you guys have a good.
You realize if you do this, we can have a three-way here. Let me show you.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Hi, Dog World, and you.
There's the tiger with the tiara. Okay.
We could have a tiara trio.
Yeah, a trio. Yeah. Yes, yes, because we'll all be pretty in our tiaras. But and Sufer needs to drive the minivan with it on, and that's
that would be awesome.
And that's per SPB.
That'd be awesome.
My minivan's going back to the shop, and if they can't fix it, we're enacting lemon laws on that thing here pretty soon. The other day, it almost killed us. We were driving in Hollywood. I think it was 6 in the morning or 5:30 in the morning, and going about 35 miles an hour down one of the roads towards Sunset Boulevard. I've heard that in many songs. And the car all of a sudden it starts slowing down and pulling hard to the left. My wife could barely hold onto the steering wheel.
Oh my gosh.
And we almost crashed into another car, and that's the third time it's done it.
Oh, wow.
So the other 2 times, my wife's been driving on roads at about 65 miles an hour, and it comes to a complete stop. Luckily, no one was behind her, or she would have been.
Oh my gosh.
So I think that's three's a charm. That's enough for me to say we got to.
What year is it? How long can you do the lemon law?
It's a 2022.
Okay, so it's so it's new.
So it's a brand new minivan, and it should not be having those issues, and it has to do with all this technology stuff and all the crazy stuff.
Yeah, well, this new technology stuff, I just saw somebody post a Tesla, and I think I shared a story about my sister. That's why I'm here. I was watching my niece, and she went to a work thing with a co-worker. She had a Tesla. It took them 3 hours when it should have taken them like 2, because they had to keep stopping and charging that thing because of the cold weather. So luckily they were late. They didn't plan for it. It's a new Tesla. So, that's not going to be the best options either, especially I keep the roads hot. So I can't imagine how long it'd take me to get places.
No,
I plugging in the car.
So mine is a minivan. It's a Honda Odyssey. So I can't speak to other Honda Odysseys. I just know I've had an issue with mine. We've taken it twice, and they can't find the problem. So on a third one, at least in the state of California, that starts to enact lemon law stuff. I don't know if that's national or not.
Well, I know that my state has one of those as well. I was just curious how many years do you have?
Until 2018, you can go back that far.
Oh, not okay. Good.
So it's really if there's something that just doesn't really end up getting fixed, and I think it's a way of avoid some of the class action lawsuits and other things like that.
I
that have
see.
consumer protection. But a quick thing on the Tesla is that, I've got friends that have Teslas that love them. I've seen multiple Teslas burn out on the freeway. So that's really freaked my wife out from getting one.
Yeah, that's me too.
Yeah, that's kind of scary. And then also we've seen a BMW light up in the parking garage.
A BMW?
BMW EV. So,
oh, wow.
Things do happen. I don't see brand new gas cars doing that. They do reduce pollution. There's no pollution that's in the city. There are other issues with them long term. But the one thing from a charging perspective I've noticed is that when I go from California to Utah, there's a few places where you go long stretches through the Mojave Desert and you have to stop. And as more and more people get the EVs, there's just the charging stations aren't something you can pull into and gas up for 10 minutes and leave.
Right.
And so you'll get to some places. There's a place called Eddie's World that's on the way out to Vegas, and you have to do the full charge. You have to do like a 2-hour charge there if you're going.
Oh, wow.
And you could be waiting 10 hours to get a slot.
So, yeah, and not all of them are universal either. You can't plug every single car into one charger. Like Tesla, I
think around town, not going too far. I think they can be great vehicles, especially if you can get a good price for them. Going long distances, I think it's still got some time to work out the bugs, and battery technology has got to catch up to it a bit.
Yeah. Well, okay, you guys, I'm going to step down. You guys have a good show. I'm going to be watching. Tiger, have fun.
All right. All right, there we go. Okay. All right, so tonight we're going to talk about emergency preparedness, guys. So a couple things that I just wanted to kind of hit on before we do that, though, is, Tiger, I had a couple quick questions for you as we're getting started. So before we get into the subject matter, I wanted to see if you could just share with us a little bit about how long you've been stacking and when you started your YouTube channel. Uh-oh, Tiger, I can't hear you. Maybe you can't hear me. I don't know. Tiger, are you there?
Well, you ran her off before I got back?
She ran away, man. You went too silent.
Man, I think she's with Tim Marshner.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so. But maybe one of these days she'll stop by there and go talk to him. So Tiger, I wanted to see if you could tell us a little bit about your experience with YouTube, how long you've been doing it, how long have you been stacking, and then for everybody, I do have a link down below to Tiger's channel so that you can find that. And mods, if you could put a link in there too. And then we're going to talk about some of the other links that I've added down below too, as well as OPR8R. I'll put a link in for Sticker Mule. If you use the link that I'll have in the video here in a few minutes, actually it'll be right after we're finished. I'll add another link. I don't want to mess up the live stream. Yeah, I think you get like $10 off on Sticker Mule if you use it, and then it'll give like the channel a $10 credit to help us, get more stickers for you guys. So that's pretty fun, and they have crazy deals all the time, which is great. So a quick plug for them. All right, Tiger. So tell us, how long have you been stacking for? I see a pretty sizable stack there.
Yeah, I just got that 5 minutes ago. So I'm messing with you.
You picked it up 5 minutes ago from where? You're safe?
Lord Almighty, found me out. You found me out. Speaking about find me out, little side note, everyone needs to take a look at West Coast Stacker's post. He found a picture of me in a wrestling rink. Actually, no, with someone else, but it was funny. Anyway,
that's pretty funny.
Yeah, getting back to what you asked me. I've been stacking for about 2.5 to 3 years. That's basically when I woke up and started trying to figure it out on my own, and stumbled and made some big mistakes and that type of thing. So I've been stacking for about 2 to 3 years.
Okay. So with that, is it something that you have done for a particular reason, or, for example, a lot of the people in the community, probably a handful of people that are watching today too, focus on things like prepping, stacking. Others may have collectible stacking. Others are looking to basically just have a place to put money instead of in the bank. Others are looking for, potentially to buy silver to turn into creations. You see a lot of people doing pouring. And then oftentimes you see people that are just, they're just grabbing coins here and there. Maybe they don't even have a strategy yet, but they do know it's real money. And they're kind of buying what they like and what they have to see. What got you started into it?
Well, I started realizing that I was getting older. I really haven't saved in anything. I was pretty much believed all the garbage that I was told, and started realizing something's not right. I'm able to buy less and less with more and more cash, and started thinking something's wrong. Talked to my friend who temporarily got me into Robinhood stocks, which I lost. I didn't put a lot in, but I lost. Then he got me into crypto, which I lost some, not as much. And I started remembering my grandfather, some of the things he told me, and started realizing he had some old silver coins, silver dollars, things like that from the past. And talked to my same friend who got me in touch with the local pawn shop, has a great reputation. And I bought my first 10,000 from a company watching Fox News, and they had one of their people endorse American Hartford Gold. Don't ever use them; they'll rob you blind. I just for a one Volcambi Combi Bar Gold, I paid $500 more than what I found out a month later after I started finding out other places. They will rob you blind.
So Tiger is a quick thing there. I don't know them. I haven't used those guys, so I can't speak to that. But what I will say is, anytime you're buying precious metals, it's always a good idea to shop around to at least, I would say, 2, but really 3 places to compare and check those prices.
I agree. But as a first time purchaser who knew nothing about nothing and was getting my toe wet for the first time, I made a beginner mistake.
Yep.
I just don't want other people to make the same mistakes that I did.
I agree. So you want to look out for that stuff, definitely, guys. Be careful with that. So Tiger, do you do any stacking for SHTF type situations?
Oh yeah, 9/11 hit. I started buying, let's call them freedom seeds.
Freedom seeds, okay. Anybody have freedom seeds?
And let's call them seed planters.
And seed planters.
Seed planters. Bought lots of seeds and lots of seed planters. And over the years, when I'd go out target shooting, I would tell my son, leave the seeds downstairs, would go to the store and buy new seeds, which he would get upset with me because he thought it was a waste of money. And what we didn't use, we would store the seeds with the other seeds. And over a course of years, I had a lot of seeds. And now he's got his own family and he's realizing about the price of what seeds are. He's like, so what do you think about your dad's plan that you used to get mad about? Says, you were right. He said it reluctantly, but you were right. So that I stacked a lot of seeds. And then around 2014, I started getting into stacking food, first through Emergency Essentials and their website. And this is one of their many products I bought from them. But I also have them in boxes and kits and everything, plus MREs. I've got a kit for each vehicle, so in case something happens, there's basically 3 days worth of food, water, personal filters. You could go to a stream and suck through a filter straw and get fresh water, and just all sorts of things to keep in the car. And I've been stacking those for the house. But I moved over to a company called For Patriots. They're a good company for food. They're not a good company for solar, but they're a good company for food. And they have other nice little gizmos, like little rechargeable bricks to recharge your cell phone and other things. So I started using them for that purpose. So and then 2.5 to 3 years ago, I woke up, knew that something was wrong monetarily, like I mentioned, started getting into gold and silver, not knowing anything. The people at the pawn shop taught me a whole lot. Stumbled into Lynette Zhang, then Yankee, then Silver Dragons, and then everybody else, and then became part of the community. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, that totally does. So I'm gonna. I think Ellie was asking what kind of silver have I recently purchased. So this is one I recently purchased.
Awesome.
So
Freedom Seeds.
This is a Freedom Seed, guys, but this is silver. So this is 3/9 fine silver, right there, and it's milled basically. So there'll be a bunch of scrap that comes off of it. But that is one of my latest silver pickups. I thought that was kind of fun. So a lot of people call those Freedom Seeds. So yeah, I think that's great, Tiger. So one of the things that I wanted to hit on tonight, guys, is you know, a lot of the reason why people stack in general has to do with all kinds of different preferences. But one of those is to be prepared. What if something were to happen to our financial system, for example? What if the dollar were to lose a lot of value overnight? You know, what if we have CBDCs that come out to where there's a lot of monitoring and potentially major control over how you can spend the money and where you can spend it, how much of it. So a lot of people are looking to protect themselves from the financial markets, or say from the monetary system. Others are looking to protect themselves from the financial markets, where they believe, you know, there could be a lot of issues just due to economy, due to the fact, like if you look at the stock market, I don't know a single stock that trades based on the price, based on the earnings today. It's always a multiplier of future earnings. So, you know, it's like just about anything out there. It's worth what the next guy is willing to pay for. So some people are shoring that up when we have stock market crashes. Other people are looking to prepare for potentially things like EMP or power outages, or a lot of people are just looking to prepare for natural disasters and other things that come about. So Tiger, I brought a handful of things I wanted to kind of show everybody, as well as talk to you about them and just see if these are some of the things that you guys have out there and what do you guys think? So, so Ellie asked this, we're going to do this right now, Ellie, we're going to show some of this. So one thing I just want to throw out there is all of this is related in a lot of ways. Today we're going to show a few things.
Thank you, Craig.
With preparing. So I'm just going to throw out a handful of things that I've got here to show you guys. So this is like vegetable stew. This is stuff that you can pick up at Walmart or on Amazon for, you know, pretty inexpensive. There's a lot of sales on this. You could not find any of this stuff during the pandemic, but you could. But they started making a ton of it in 2022, and then they made more because they thought that everybody thought that demand was so high for everybody's stuff, so they just overproduced. You can pick these things up on Amazon for like 50%. So I will put some links to Amazon here soon, so that you guys can pick this stuff up. And I just haven't gotten around to setting up the affiliate link yet, but I am gonna put a list of stuff together, like what does Sufer recommend? What do I have out there? So do you have anything like this, Tiger, that's like pre-food, pre-done food? This has a 25-year shelf life.
Well, I just showed you one.
Okay, so
that was from Emergency Essentials. I bought a lot of their buckets that were like, I think it's like a month per bucket or 3 months per bucket. Emergency Essentials is not so very tasty, but it'll make you, help you survive. I also bought MREs, which are much more compact for the vehicles, but I started moving over to 4 Patriots. They're a little tastier. It doesn't feel like you're trying to survive. You can actually enjoy your meal. But I bought, overall, I have for my wife and myself somewhere between 2.5 to 3 years worth of food when you throw that all together. But that's not including the chickens. We have 6 chickens that'll produce eggs, and even right now, I don't have to pay for eggs. How about that?
That's really good. And then here's another thing. This does not have a long shelf life, so this is something you need to rotate out. It's a little bit expired on the Best Buy, so we probably need to start using this, but it's almond flour. You can use this to make a lot of different things, including like almond butter out of it. Or like
that's
almond.
awesome.
So that's an example. I'm just going to show you guys a few things real fast too. This is another bucket I picked up when we were doing the other show with Nick. So this is another company. There's a ton of companies out there, guys. So you know, one of the things I look at is, you know, price in comparison. This happened to be on Black Friday sale. But I'm not going to open it right now, but it basically has a bunch of pouches in it. And this has up to 25-year shelf life. On our other video that I have a link down below to, I was showing you guys how to make 30-year shelf life food storage on your own for dirt cheap from Costco. And I'll probably put some more videos out on that as well. And this is something else people don't think about, but you can buy shampoo in bulk like this. This is actually way healthier shampoo than most of the stuff you buy at the store. It doesn't have all the bad ingredients in it, but you can buy it in bulk like this, save a ton of money, and just let this stuff sit in your shelf. It's not.
Where do you get that at?
Bad. All of this is off Amazon.
Amazon, okay.
Most of it is. So I'm going to show you guys how to navigate that. I need to prioritize it. And then I've got like a backup battery. So what happens if electricity goes out?
EcoFlow.
There you go. This is an EcoFlow one too. So there's a lot of stuff that I use that I think is pretty good. I'm actually, you can probably hear the fan a little bit. I'm powering the laptop right now and my lights off this. And then
is that replenished by solar?
If you have panels, it will. And then this is a 72-hour kit. So it's pink for the girls. And it's ready to go. This is something that sits in my house, but I also put these in my car. And that stuff like life straws. MREs, I don't like that stuff. So what we ended up doing is we got freeze-dried Italian-style pepper steak.
Well, you got to keep in mind, I went to MREs initially because I am a previous military man. And
no, I think it's fine. We do have some of those here. Look at this. This is like that.
Okay.
But a couple of us are gluten-free. We can't eat this stuff.
Well, you know what they call MREs in real life, don't you?
Is it appropriate for the channel?
I don't think it's quite inappropriate, but it is a little funny.
Okay, what do they call
them? The correct translation is meals ready to eat, but when we were in the military, we referred to it as meals rejected by Ethiopians.
Oh, no, I don't know if that's appropriate, but I get it. Okay.
It's a little heavy in salt, so drink a lot of fluid if you ever use them.
I think so too. And then I put stuff in, like there's a flashlight in there. Does it work? It's not working right now. I don't know if it has batteries in it. So you got to check your stuff too. So what I like to do is create like every year, and I'm about a year off this, but just about every year I like to go through the packs and see if they're all good. But you know, for me, being prepared is silver, right? It's silver, just like these guys here. So here's a couple silver coins upside down. And it's so that, you know, there's multiple parts, right, Tiger? So we were kind of talking about this earlier. You've got, you know, in order, I would say water is most important. So you need things that can filter water. So at my house, I have barrels that sit outside that have water in them. So like 55-gallon drums, or you can get them that are a lot bigger. You can have water filtration. I've got a way of like filtering my neighbor's pool water. There's jalapeno cheese, MREs. I don't buy it. I don't think that's going to taste pretty good. Burn a hole in your gut, probably. So, you know, the water stuff, there's also ways of capturing rainwater that's coming down. And you can put that into barrels too. So there's like little attachments you can put onto downspouts and stuff. But water is your most important thing. Your second thing's food. And so you don't have to get this, you know, food that lasts 20, 25, 30, 35 years. But it is helpful because you don't have to worry about it. You just put it on a shelf and you have a date there to do it in the future. It is going to cost a lot more money though. But and I don't know if you need a year's supply, but that's a good rule of thumb to work towards, is a year's supply of food. So one of the things that I'm looking at, Tiger, is it's, do I put more money into this stuff, or do I put more money into precious metals? And it's always kind of a mix between that. And I think that's where the goals come into place, and having a good inventory to understand that, hey, do I need to, do I need to basically shift a little bit more into preparedness, or do I need to shift a little bit more into metals? But this is funny. Nick was just commenting on my pool comment. I don't think my neighbors have a clue how to drink their pool water. So I think they're going to be very happy that someone's going to clean it for them in exchange for taking some of it.
That's not a bad idea. My neighbors have they're hardly ever home, but they have a monster pool.
And we don't have rivers down here that have water in them. So our rivers are basically, in any of those movies you see, like Terminator, where someone's driving a semi truck down some concrete thing that has all these bridges over it with a little bit of water, that's the Los Angeles River or the Santa Ana River. Those are the rivers we have. There's like homeless people living in there and junk going down it. Like you can't even filter that water. It's not even drinkable stuff.
You don't think a Berkey would filter that out?
No way. No.
That'd be an interesting test, because we have two Berkeys. I have one upstairs, one downstairs. And I've seen on the internet, now I haven't done it for real life because I didn't want to take a test of ruining my Berkey, but I've seen them take nasty pond water and it comes out clean as a whistle.
Yeah, I mean, this is industrial runoff and everything else. I don't think you even want to touch it. The other thing I've just realized recently too, depending on your guys' take on fluoride, that stuff is hard to filter out of your water. Mm-hmm. If you don't have special filters for that, like anywhere you go to get a soft drink in California, where we have very heavy fluoridation, even getting a soft drink is going to have it, whether you get it bottled or whether you get it out of the fountain, because it's coming out of the water that's there, and they're not filtering that out. They might be filtering chlorine out of the water, but they're not filtering a lot of the other stuff out of there. So that's something I just realized, and we're like, great.
Well, that's one of the things I wouldn't mind putting into the comment here. With the Berkeys, now I can't talk about any other company because I haven't bought from any other company, but the carbon filters will filter out almost everything on the top pot, if you will. The bottom pot, you can buy extra filters, which we do. There's some sort of white ceramic type thing, and it takes out the fluoride and other heavy metals.
I agree. So they stopped allowing Berkeys to be sold in California.
No,
it's illegal because it has it uses silver, and because they don't disclose some part of it. So they jumped up to like $400. So I returned mine to Amazon, and I ended up buying another brand from I think it's Patriot Supply, that has a version, and it includes also a fluoride filter on it as well. So I do have that. But I think water's the main thing, right, guys? You can't drink your gold, you can't drink your silver. Now, copper and silver do have some good health benefits when you're putting them into water and other things to maintain. I won't go into all the detail of that, but there's a reason why housing pipes were copper. And then back in the day, people used to put silver dollars in milk to get it to stay longer. And I don't know if that was before, maybe that was before they had pasteurization. And then you can't eat your food, your gold and silver either. So I think food is also very, very important. So, if you have a finite amount of money and resources, which most of us have, I think it's the kind of thing where you start to build up a cash reserve for emergencies, and then you start to buy some emergency food and water equipment. And then you start to buy gold and silver to take care of the monetary side. And then you start building that up. And I hear a lot of people trying to get enough silver and gold to be able to pay for their expenses for multiple years, which is a great idea if you can do it. But I think a lot of it does come down to having these other things. So besides food and water, the next one that I think is important is I think you've got to be able to have some safety. So we talked about the freedom seeds, right? Right there. So you guys need some things that could potentially secure your family. You've also got to have shelter. And so shelter comes in a couple forms, Tiger. I wonder if you have any of these things. So guys, I wanted to show you this real quick. Oh, these are life straws, by the way. You can just drink like right out of a pond with these things. Okay, let me see if I can find it. It's good to have like extra clothes in these packs if you can. Okay.
Have you seen the blankets that you can plug into a cigarette lighter and it'll keep you warm by adding some additional heat to what it would normally do?
Those I have not seen, and not every one of these packs has all the same stuff in them. So it looks like this is the pack that does not have it, but the other packs have these little solar blankets that can be shelter. We're an earthquake country, so having a whistle might save your life. It looks like this particular pack doesn't have it. It mostly has the food in it. But, oh no, here it is. Let's see. So, all right, I'm going to show you guys this real quick.
Well, while you're looking for that, what I have is I bought some from Emergency Essentials, and then I bought some from off of Amazon. My red pack has some stuff. The black has others, and I forget which one is which. One has more food and less stuff. The other one has more stuff and less food. I've been toying with the idea of buying another backpack that's bigger that just stuff both of them in there. Plus, I have little green army bags to sling over your shoulder that has stuff that I stuffed into it. Little surgical kits for lacerations, antibiotics, sorted other wonderful things in there. So those of you who have those types of skills, you may want to look into buying some of that stuff off of Amazon.
Totally. And then nickel stacking tells us to get some silver shampoo for thick and healthy hair. I don't know if that's real or not. If that's real, I'll have to look into it. If you're pulling my leg, then that's cool too. But I'll have to find out what that is.
Well, you do have good hair. I'll give you that.
Okay, we got emerald. My hair's all right. Okay, let's see. Yeah, okay, fine. I got it. You guys are making fun of me with my shampoo. Half you probably don't have hair, huh? So
you wait till you get another 20 years on you, dude.
Money. You can save some money on it. Okay, that's funny. I do like that. So here's the other thing I'll throw out there too, Tiger, when you're looking at all of that. What I was showing a second ago is little blankets that will reflect your heat back. I also have like other kinds of water filtration. I have, like utility knives and like, Swiss Army knives and little saws and things. You can open up little shovels that fold. There's a lot of different things. It depends on the situation you're preparing for and planning for. All these kits are set up to be able to have enough water and food for 3 days in case we need to leave our house or other things come on. So here's one that Tiger's showing you guys. The trick is, the bigger trick I have is, what if I go to Los Angeles? Could be like an hour and a half. And from there, you basically run into, if we have a massive earthquake, I could be stuck in LA for, a week or two. If all the bridges are collapsed, and if it's an 8, I could be stuck out there for a long time. So at least having, with these packs, I have at least enough for 2 people at any given time. And if the whole family's going somewhere, I try to put more of them in the back just in case, so that we're good. Someone mentioned sulfates in the hair. Yeah, that can, it can damage it. It can hurt it. So like in this one here, it doesn't have the main one that's a problem, but it does have some version of it. Like 99% of the shampoo does. It's hard to find ones that don't have all that stuff in there, and depends on how sensitive you are to that. Another shampoo conditioner, another shampoo comment. Okay, guys, I get it. All right. It's a big deal to me. Okay. It's like, I didn't get the height. I wasn't able to go play on the basketball team in high school like Nick, because she has all the height. And
isn't that tall? I thought she was a short lady.
No, she's not very tall, but I'm just razzing her a little bit. I think I'm an inch taller than Nick is. I'm not. I'm only 5'6". I want to say she's pretty close to that. But the hair is what I got. It's my superpower. But it is starting to recede a little bit, guys. I've had no receding hairline until just the last year or two.
It's YouTube. It does it to everybody.
I know it is YouTube. So here, I guess the shampoo thing is the theme we've got here, Tiger. So we didn't add that category of shampoo. I just happened to find that. But shampoo is maybe one of the prepping categories for YouTubers.
Well, that means I'm going to have to buy a lot of it. I mean, because, how much shampoo do you need on total body fur?
I don't know. For a full tiger, it's probably this whole bottle.
I'm going to have to talk to wifey.
So
it's easy for her because she's a snake. There's not much to clean on her.
Oh, gosh. She's just a little water will do it. So, Tiger, you got water, you got food, you've got shelter, you've got protection, right?
Yes.
The next one I would kind of throw out there, and they're not always in the exact order, but that's going to be the power, right? Energy. So
correct.
It can come in the form of that. I have stoves that are little camping stoves that fold out.
I do too.
That you can burn anything underneath them. I've got some that use like fuels. That you can connect to as well. I have propane tanks at my house. And, there's multiple things. So if we have an EMP that takes out my power supply and it doesn't return back, maybe it was out getting charged and not in a Faraday bag or something like that, and it gets fried, then it's fried. But, not everything's going to get fried in those situations necessarily, unless it's a major category 3, but in a 1 or 2, some of your stuff may survive. But if it does get taken out, you want ways of being able to burn things and keep warm.
Do you have to have a Kelly kettle?
I don't know what that is.
Kelly, wonderful thing. The bottom of it, you put in whatever's out there.
Oh yeah, I do have one of those. Yeah, I don't.
And the sides, you put water in the sides. It'll boil the water, therefore purify it. The heat goes right up the middle chimney. Then you can put attachments on the top to cook your food. And it's not, believe it or not, doesn't use much natural fuel at all, but creates such intense heat, and it's so easy to snuff out the fire.
There you go. So one of the things let me ask you guys that are out here. All right, before I do that, we'll hit this comment real quick here. Yeah, power stations could be the easiest choice unless you can build your own, which would be pretty cool. You guys, I picked up big power stations that have 3.6 kilowatt hours in one of them. They're big EcoFlow things. They're now like $3,600 to $4,000. I bought them 2 years ago from Costco for $1,500 each. And so look for sales of things too. But what I want to ask you guys is this subject helpful? Do you guys want to talk more about preparing? I'm kind of doing a quick overview of everything tonight. I've had some people that say, hey, I want to look at your 72-hour kit or your bug out bag, Surfer. What's everything that's in there? And why do you have it in there? I could do a whole hour live stream on that, not just this pack, but on all the 5 packs I have and what's in there and why it's there. I could do a whole video or a couple, live streams about how to make your food and where to buy it. We can get a lot of affiliate link stuff that will get you guys discounts on this stuff too. I just don't know if anybody cares or if that's a big deal. So if you have interest in learning more about this, finding out how to get some bulk deals potentially, and to do something that would be helpful for you guys, put a 1 in the chat. If you're all taken care of and you really don't need any direction on that, put a 2 in the chat. Just curious to see what your guys' thoughts are. Okay, so Tiger, the other thing, let's see, we wrote some notes down here. So the other thing we had talked about is community. So community is a tricky one for me, and I think it's probably a tricky one for you too.
It is. Most people around here, they listen to me telling them my concern about food and water and the decreasing power of the US dollar. And I think they get it on a very small scale, but they don't get it because they're not seeing it. and they'll see it when it really hits. Then it's going to be too late. I've talked to them about community gardens, and I think they're just being nice to the person they think is just one of those crazy preppers. But I'm still very nice to my neighbors, even if they don't listen to me talk about all this, because one day they're going to wake up, and I'd rather have them come and collaborate with me and the rest of the neighborhood on how to make it survivable for everyone, rather than come and banging on my door wanting my stuff. So, I'd rather say, listen, here's 3 rabbits, go grow your own food, rather than, I'm not joking, I'm serious. I mean,
just make sure you give them 3 male rabbits, and then wait for a few weeks and see them get nervous, and then change it up a little bit. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, actually, to be honest with you, I didn't know anything about rabbits. And when I bought, because the recommendation for a 2-person family is 3 females and 1 male. We'll keep enough meat for 2 people for an entire year, and we weren't getting any babies. So I got a person who knows rabbits more than I do, not the person I bought them from. And my male was a female. That's why we weren't getting any rabbits. I had 4 females. So, and it sounds kind of funny, but those parts are so small, they kind of look the same to me. So, but no, my approach to them is, if they come knocking on the door, my kid's hungry, blah, blah, blah. Here's a male, here's a female, go make some rabbits. And in the meantime, I'll give you a frozen rabbit to get you started, so that you guys aren't hungry. But, I don't want them banging on my door trying to break in and steal everything.
So this is where I think the community, you could do a lot of stuff on community. What's tricky about community is, right now, okay, let me back up for a second, Tiger. So first off, let me hit this comment again real quick here. I don't think anyone's ever fully prepared. There's no way. We can't know everything that's coming.
No, we can't.
We can't know how much you need. So, for example, if we have a massive solar flare, or we have a nuclear EMPs that go off, or even sabotage, there are ways to sabotage the grid to where it takes 1 to 2 years to have it come back. If that happens, you probably want 3 years worth of food and supplies to be completely safe in your own house. However, you've got a community of people out there that could use help. And so I think what Tiger's describing is, there's always this conflict between, how much do you help your neighbors versus help yourself and take care of your own family. So, my number 1 priority is to my wife and my kids, and I've got to be able to take care of them. Number 1. If I have the means to go beyond that and help my neighbors, then that's even better. But it can become a tricky situation, because you may think the situation is only going to last a couple of weeks or a month or 2. But what if it goes on for 2 years and you've used your supplies up helping everybody, and now your family's dependent on it? And I think that's where it goes beyond a lot of the stuff we're just showing. You need to have seeds. You need to understand how to grow rabbits, breed rabbits, grow vegetables, have fruit trees, being able to figure out how to grow your own food and kind of sustain that. All of this stuff just does is it kind of helps you get through the crazy part until you can kind of figure out how to grow those things and get it going. Another thing that I'll just put out there, and then we'll get back to community, is this comment here about surge protectors. There are, I forget the name of it. You mentioned it on your video, Tiger, and I've got a friend that's been trying to get me to buy them for a couple of years now. But you can put surge protectors in your cars, in your house electrical box, and you can get things like Faraday bags to protect your electronics. And we hope that's going to be good enough, but we don't for sure know what's going to happen until it does.
That's true. That's true.
But with the community part of it, I'm curious from you guys. Put a 1 in the chat if you've had conversations with your neighbors about preparing, and that can go anywhere from the food to the water to the metals. And put a 2 in if there's no. We're going to talk to your neighbors and tell them that you have emergency preparedness stuff. I'm just curious to see how you guys approach that. So to your point, Tiger, I think it would be really hard if you had a whole bunch of stuff and you knew you could help other people and you see people starving out in the neighborhood. That right there is a major moral dilemma, and I'm not even sure how to handle it until it comes.
Yeah, it's one of those things you got to figure out on your as it unfolds, because you can't anticipate. There's not enough intelligence in the world to anticipate bad.
There isn't, and so like OC Stacker, someone that doesn't live too far from me, and I know he thinks similar to the way I do, and so I've got a handful of people in my neighborhood that I already know have certain things. And as I found that out, we will share information and we'll talk. But outside of that, I don't go to my 2 next door neighbors, knock on the door and say, hey, what do you guys have? Here's what I have. And so, I think it's kind of a mix of that too for me, but we've got a mix in here. So some people, it's a daydreamer. It's number 2 here. I live in an apartment, so I used to know my neighbors until they moved out. So I've lived in a lot of apartments. I've lived in Manhattan and stuff. And if you live in an apartment, it can be really hard to prep. So I live in California. We don't have an extra space, right? My food storage is like under my kids' beds. My wife's like, what are you doing? And I'm just putting things down there.
That's a great place to put them.
It is. I can't, if I put it in the garage, we can get up to 100 degrees, which can make the food lose a lot of its shelf life. And we also have limited space. I have to park my cars in the garage, things like that. So we got all these crazy HOA things out here in California too. But the thing is I've got to be smart about how I do some of this stuff because of space. An apartment, it's even more so. So in an apartment, maybe it's basically, you might be able to have like a month's worth of food. And maybe you can get it 2 or 3 months if you put some things under the bed. But get creative. Is there a way for you to get some taller bed frames so you can put more stuff in there? What can you do that?
Well, that's one of the reasons.
Don't take up very much space either if you want to get a bunch of that.
The MRAs, I think, are great for the vehicle, okay, because they take up less space. For underneath the bed, what I've noticed are the totes that come from Ford Patriots. They will fit underneath the bed, unless you got a bed that's got a frame close to the ground. But basically, it's an excellent tote to go underneath beds. So that's space that is much better used up. But the emergency essentials are just big, square, 5-gallon buckets, and that's not a good place to hide those.
So here's another comment I'll just throw out there. I'm mixed living in California with this comment here, but one thing I'll tell you is that prepping is not necessarily a political thing. It's more of a way people are brought up and some of the concerns family come into. It's definitely much more of a conservative concept that you see. And a lot of that comes down to probably a little bit more of the way people are grouped. So you tend to have more liberal Democrats living in cities, and you tend to have more conservative Republicans living out in the suburbs or in rural areas. And the more rural you get, the more independent you are. The more you're into the cities, the more codependent you are on the ecosystem and the people. If you live on a 30-story building in New York and the water stops running, I mean, where do you go? There's no water. I'm not even sure Berkey can filter out the Hudson River. That's pretty nasty stuff. I think it's like really toxic. But when you look at that, you do the best you can in the situation you have. But it's also the kind of thing to look at and say, hey, do I want to move out of the situation I'm in? Do I want to move to a place that allows me to do more things? Like this spring, if I can get my wife on board, I want to show you guys how to grow 200 plants in a 4x6 square foot area. And I've got a whole setup that I'm trying to put in that's hydroponics that would be really cool. Problem is we keep taking like summer vacations and then our food all dies. But I want to start building that up and show you guys how to do that stuff. And it kind of goes along with this comment here, where it does fruits and vegetables in the backyard too. So there's a lot of stuff you guys can do. Definitely get seeds, I think is important. You can do these kind of machines too. You don't necessarily have to get that. if you're doing more like beans and rice, you can get away with just doing oxygen absorbers and put them into Mylar bags and seal them. So you can definitely have all that stuff happen. So I saw a lot of ones in here. So Tiger, I think it's a good subject that people want to hear more about. It's definitely something I have a lot of interest in. I've got a food storage, a couple videos that I produced 1.5 years ago before I even started doing a channel. And I need to get them edited and out to you guys so you can see them. And I've just been too perfectionistic about wanting to have a bunch of links so you guys can go pick up the stuff to describe each of the packages. And I just don't have the time to put all that together. And so I just never produced it. So I think I may just, it's probably better to get some information out than trying to have it be perfected. You guys
I agree with you on that. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to put a little plug in because I did a little three-part series on solar by a company that will save you money if you have solar and you're having problems. If you have nothing and you want to start, it's a 3-part series. I have it in my playlist, both under solar and under prepping, with a company called Portable Power Solar. I've been watching them for 3 years, and I don't think anyone will be disappointed if they watch that and then contact the owner, Ben, or his assistant, Kathy. I personally think solar would be an absolute good way to go. I currently use the biggest air-cooled Generac generator in case the power goes out. But what if they turn off our fossil fuels? So I really want to get myself up to full house power, where some people don't want full house power. They just want, small things like the EcoFlow. And Ben does sell a lot of EcoFlows also. But if you want to learn about, coming off grid or just what you need, or maybe just something for your RV or whatever, please look at those 3 videos. And call Ben over at Portable Power Solar. He has his own YouTube channel called Minuteman Prep. Hey 365. So feel free to look into that, because I love silver and I love gold and I love lead and all that, but power is going to keep your house warm. It's going to cook your food. It's going to make you feel more comfortable. So that's something that I'd like for you all to have available to you, especially if none of you have anything about that.
Yeah. So what we can do too, Tiger, is I can get a link from you to add to this video for people to check out. And you guys, we're going to do more videos on this stuff too. So to Tiger's point, I need to talk to him too, because solar panels come with short cords. I need longer cords so I can put the panels either on my roof or out further. In addition to that, you can plug some of your backup batteries to your house grid, so you can run circuits off of it. So you can run your fridge and freezer, things along those lines. You can also do the same thing with a Generac. So it just depends on what you want to do. The nice thing about some of the solar generators, as well as not a Generac, but a smaller generator, is you can take those things with you in case you have to leave where you live to go somewhere else. But for me, I have to pretty much stay in. I'm pretty much landlocked. If I go north, if I go south, I'm going to hit a major city. And that will probably be in worse shape than where I'm at. To the east, I have to go through mountain lion, snake infested land. And then if I go to the west, I hit the ocean that's infested with great whites. So you don't have a whole lot of places to go. So I'm working on trying to make my area more secure here and make it better. But 365, thank you for coming out. I know Shiny Man, I don't know if we called you out as well, and Cement Surfer. So
hi, Shiny.
Guys out. And we probably missed a few of you. We've got Chet Stacker and Chad. Let me see if there's anybody else that just joined recently. But
Jim Doc.
Emerald Coast as well, and Jim Doc. So you guys, thank you for coming out. So what I'll try to do, and I think Tiger's going to do the same thing on his channel. He'll have a handful of prepping videos that'll be good. I will be putting a bunch on my channel. I don't know how much Nick wants to do as far as on Coin Talk. We're primarily just talking about coins on here and preparing. We do every once in a while. Maybe it'll be a monthly type thing. But what I will tell you guys last here is the last thing to really prepare is, I think, around securing your family's wealth. and around being able to barter and have money. So, one of the things that you can do is you can have constitutional silver, junk silver, any silver, including this freedom seed right here, can be used to barter. It's real money, guys. So you can use that. But I do hesitate on telling everybody to go too crazy on the metals because for prepping. I guarantee you that until food security is reestablished, no one's going to trade you their food for metals. Okay, I'm not going to. So if I happen to have 6 months worth of food, I'm going to be more worried about how do I get my next 6 months of food. I'm not really going to want to sell my food or trade it to get more metals. I might give you a little bit of food for an entire 100-ounce bar of silver, kind of a thing. Like you would have a very, very bad exchange ratio. But there will be a time where things start to get better established, and that's going to be where you'll be able to do more bartering. And maybe at the very beginning of an SHTF, you can barter as well. Your gold, I think, is going to be way down the road when society kind of gets put back together after like a big disaster or whatever may happen. So the reason I prepare is so that I can sleep at night and not worry about stuff. And I forget who had the comment earlier, because we're way off there now, but you can't fully prepare for any of these things. And so because of that, I prepare the best I can. I put the rest in God's hands, and then I go on with my life. And when I can, I add a little bit more and I deal with that. Solar flares are the same as EMPs, depending on how strong they are. They can take us out, and they can take out the whole flipping planet at the same time. So that would be not a great thing. So the last thing I think I'll tell you guys this too is it's also important to prepare emotionally. If the lights go off and they never come back on, for example, you've got to be prepared to help your kids and other people around. If we have to get into bartering situations, every one of you is going to be probably the first person to help your community on being able to know how to barter and what things are worth. And that doesn't mean you get into the nuances of a Libertad's worth more than an eagle. Okay, that probably isn't going to matter a whole lot. But helping them understand the weight and get your scales out and things like that. And are scales even going to work? Mine are all digital, so maybe those don't work. So you're going to have to help people out with that. And then the last part of it, I think, is faith. You got to have some faith. So whether you're religious or not, or spiritual, the saying goes, there are no atheists in the foxhole, right? So when things really hit the fan is maybe the time you might meet God, at least through prayer, hopefully not in person yet. And I think getting some of that stuff prepared now is always going to be helpful for you too. So, and then it's pulling it together. I know I had some hard times freaking out a little bit myself when COVID came out. And if something like that happens again, I think I'm going to be better prepared for it, but it really threw me off right off the bat. So that's the last thing I'm going to leave with you guys. My wife has asked me to keep these a little bit closer to an hour now, so that we can keep doing multiple ones throughout the week, as well as getting a few other videos out for you guys. So I want to thank you for your patience tonight. I know Nick was hoping to make it. She wasn't able to, but luckily enough, we were able to have Tiger on here, which is great. So Tiger, I want to thank you for coming out. And until next time, guys, peace out. We'll be on at the same time on Saturday. We'll see you then.
Thank you, everyone, for coming.
See you guys. Bye-bye.